In BricsCAD Mechanical V26.2, we can now use mechanical properties to drive title blocks and annotations, meaning the drawing data is no longer manually entered. It's directly linked to the model. What I'll show you in this tutorial is how to define those mechanical properties, how to insert them into a title block, and how they stay associative when the model data changes. Here we have a model of a bearing cover, created as a mechanical block. I'll now switch to the paper space layout. As we can see, we already have a title block defined. So the goal is simple. Instead of typing values into this block, we're going to link it directly to the mechanical block data. Now, I'll navigate to the mechanical browser. This is where the structure of the mechanical model is managed. But more importantly for this workflow, it's where mechanical properties are stored and controlled. If we navigate to the bottom of this panel, we can see the mechanical block properties, and this is where the custom properties dialog lives. However, there is another way to do it, which I'll show you now. If we navigate to the top level block on the mechanical browser, in this case V26.2 bearing cover, we can right click and select Custom Properties. It's in this dialog that we will create a new property set for the title block. To do this, click plus set and change the ID to title block. Now, I'll define the individual properties inside this set. To do this, we click plus property, and we'll give the first ID drawn by. And we will repeat this for the rest of the properties. So again, plus property, ID. This one we will make checked by. Again, plus property, and we will change this ID to material. And for part name. For revision. And finally, we'll create a property for sheet. Each one of these is now a named property attached to the mechanical block. Once these are created, I will now confirm. At this stage, we've defined the structure of the data, but we haven't used it yet. Next, let's navigate to the ribbon and go to the Annotate tab. From here, I will select Paper Space Views. This allows me to create a viewport. This step is important. The viewport creates the link between model space and paper space, and that's what allows fields in the layout to reference the mechanical block. Now, before placing anything, I'll create a new layer for the title block text. This just keeps the title block values organized and easy to manage. So first thing, let's open the Drawing Explorer. And let's make sure we are on Layers. Once on Layers, we navigate to the New icon. We click New, and we will call this layer Text. Now, let's make sure it's the correct color. So we want to go for black, RGB 000. And we will now make it the active layer. Now, I'll run the field command. If when this dialog box opens, the dialog is blank, go to Extensions and Extension Properties. Here in field is what allows us to insert values that are linked to object properties rather than typing static text. And the first thing we need to do is define what field is referencing. So, up by object type, we see a cursor icon. Click the cursor icon. And in the viewport we created earlier, select Model. This is a key step. By selecting the block in the viewport, we're telling BricsCAD, use this block as the data source. That's how Field gains access to the mechanical block properties. Now, I'll go to the property category drop-down, and we can see the title block property set we created earlier. So now we're directly accessing the mechanical block data. To place the properties onto the drawing, select the property. We'll start with Drawn By. Once selected, we'll click OK. We now need to navigate down to the title block, and under Drawn By, we'll left-click and place it. Now, we need to rerun field each time we want to put in one of the properties. So we'll run field again. And again, we'll select our 3D model, we'll select title block, and this time we'll select checked by. Okay. And again, we'll run field, select title block. This time we will go for material. Again, we will run fields. We will select model, title block, and this time we will select part name. Field, select the model. This time we'll select revision. And for the last time, we will run field, select our model, select title block, and we'll select sheet as the final property. With the properties placed, let's return to the mechanical browser. Select body_1. Navigate down to the mechanical block properties, and under custom properties, we can see title block with the properties we created. Beside the title block is a text box, and let's fill in the text. For Drawn By, let's put a.brexcad. Under checked by, we'll put s.octave. Under material, we'll put 316 stainless steel. Under part name, we will call it bearing cover. Revision 1, sheet 1. Now, in the command line, we will run the command regen. And once regen has been run, we can see that the title block has now been updated with the values we gave to the properties. Let's change one of the values. So back in the mechanical browser and under the mechanical block properties, the material value is currently 316 stainless steel. But let's change that to ductile iron and press enter. Now we can see nothing's updated yet. It still says 316 stainless steel, but again, if we run the regen command, it updates instantly. So, instead of manually maintaining title block data, you're now driving it directly from the mechanical block properties. That keeps your model and your documentation aligned and removes the risk of inconsistencies.